Hey, Mooch Crap, J-Dubs.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Mooch, Crap, J-Dubs.
Hey Mooch, hey Crap, hey Jay.
What up with your Crap and Mooch and Jay with?
Wake on up. It's Mooch, it's Crap, and Jay in the morning. Wipe your eye boogies, get your coffee finished yawning. This is Mooch and Crap. Morning show. Wake up, let us begin with gaming news, skits, and call-ins from all the fans. No matter where you at, Cali or Pakistan, New York or New Guinea, this is where it's at. These are Xbox dudes with Xbox views on slander and hate towards Xbox news. This is Mooch and Crap. Show for the people, and they coming with it. Now do you understand? Now do you get it? Ponies love to lie and PC fans won't admit it, but Xbox hate is real and they all with it. Call in, let it ring in. We here to rock, we here to win. It's about the games, it's about the pride. Now Xbox community, come on, let's rock. Mooch and Crap. Make sure.
Mooch, Crap, J-Dub.
¿Cómo están, bitches?
Hey Mooch and Crap, hey Jay.
Hey Mooch and Crap. What up, Mooch and Crap and Jay?
Sup, Mooch and Crap. Sup, J-Dubs.
Hello, Mooch and Crap.
What up, Mooch? What up, Crap?
Hey, what's up, Mooch and Crap?
You guys have the best damn podcast on YouTube, bar none.
All hail Jay! All hail Jay!
Good morning, everybody, huh? M&C Mornings on Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. Hope you're ready for today, right? Today's going to be a big one. Woo. Oh, hey now. M&C Mornings brought to you by Coca-Cola and Pepsi and anything else you may drink today. No, great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Yes. Hey, Crap, how you doing today? Super Bowl Sunday in America, good times, right? It's our biggest day of the year.
I mean, well, normally it would be.
Something bothering it?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, you just get tired of the team. Like, I don't give a shit about the Eagles, and I hate the Patriots. So
right.
You know, it's one of those. I would have much rather seen Vikings Jaguars, because then you're getting a new Super Bowl champ no matter what. I feel like that would have been good for the sport, whereas Tom Brady getting another fucking Super Bowl win doesn't really appeal to me.
I'll tell you something, though, Crap. You know, here's my thing. I agree with you. I actually do. My only issue is that, like, take the Jags, for example. Let's say it was Jags-Vikings. I mean, of course, I would be rooting for the Vikings in that case. But the Jags win it by chance. Here's my thing. Who cares? Like, the minute they are pegged NFL champs, nobody cares, because the Jacksonville Jaguars, let's be honest, you know, nobody's wearing their hats, their jerseys over in, you know, the Green Mountain states. We
have a term for people that wear hats and stuff from teams they're not from. Those are called bandwagon fans.
Okay.
And that's basically what it comes down to. And you would see bandwagon fans. Like, the guy would take off his New England hat that he bought last year, right, and put on his Jaguar hat.
Right. Well, we call those are just front runners.
Yeah, they're bandwagon, man. They hop on the bandwagon, all aboard, woo woo. Like, if the Eagles somehow win today, which they won't, everybody's gonna be Philly. Yeah,
Philly. I love those cheesesteaks.
Yeah,
I mean, all of a sudden, like, I haven't had peppers and onions like that in years. Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, it's you're right. But I don't know, Crap. Here's my thing, and look, I have a problem here. I actually respect and honor what you just said. Okay, I don't think Tom needs another ring, but unfortunately, me being a Giants fan, I can't.
I know you're like that. You're like those Dallas fans too, right? Like,
I can't root for the Eagles. I mean, I just can't, because half of the people I know that I interact with daily and we talk all this smack in football is Eagles Giants, right? We're rivals. So I have to root for the Patriots.
It's like Patriots versus Steelers. Who do you root for if you're me? You
Right.
root for neither one of them. You root
Exactly.
for you root for Bane to show up at the stadium. You know,
Yeah, I want Bane to show up. That's great.
Like,
That's
that's
really
what you
good.
hope for. So yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people don't want to hear football talk, but hell, what are you gonna do?
It's Super Bowl, folks. You got to talk football a little bit. There it is. Don't say you won't be saying that at some point today.
Go sports.
Yes. All sports, all day. M&C. Yes, with J-Dubs. J-Dubs, how are you today over there in Canada? You guys got to be real excited about the old pigskin, huh?
Oh, yeah, super excited over Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Today's Sunday?
Today's Sunday. That's great. I don't know. I feel.
Yeah.
I just know Grey Cup there, Jay, but you know,
How's Grey Cup?
that's their
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
We've
their,
been trying to get a team, a CFL team here in the East Coast forever, and I think they're going to be putting in another bid for one. If we could get one here in Nova Scotia, that'd be awesome because we have the space, and if they built a stadium, that means, I'm not so excited about getting football here. I'm excited about getting big rock bands here.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, Canadian football is so weird. They only have 3 downs or something. It's weird.
Sure.
I
have no idea.
Also, there's something odd about their the uprights, right? As far as the extra point, doesn't it? Is it longer, or wider, or smaller?
The field might be as long as it is wide too, or something like that. I don't know.
That's unbelievable. You know what they did? They just took the soccer fields and like, F it. Just
That sounds like
roll
my
with
last
this.
girlfriend.
Oh, mine too.
Oh, yes. Well, we are alive today, folks. Great chat going on. Let everybody kind of cycle in. Chat, by all means, retweet this out on Twitter. A lot of times YouTube doesn't get this out for 25 to 30 minutes after we go live. So you guys all reminding people. Yeah, real easy, easy going folks at Google.
Yeah, maybe we'll put this out. Who knows?
You can
We
tell
got
it's
Luca and Fox and some good people in the chat already.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I always make, Google being on the West Coast, they're on West Coast time over there. And shout out to AJ Crap, who AJ Felton, he talks to me and you on Xbox. He's a PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
He's deemed me, as he says, and I will give him credit. He says I am now known as King of the Northeast. So there you are, folks. He's because I just can't stop ranting and raving about New York. But yes,
actually, we talk a little bit because he's like, man, I've been playing Xbox a ton.
Yeah, that's what he said to me.
I'm
He's like, I'm playing a lot more Xbox now, and I'm like, well,
yeah, I was like, Xbox is the best box. I'm not,
yeah.
Because he was telling me, he's like, he's gonna give it to you. What? Yeah.
What? Who? Right.
DMX. Have you ever seen that GIF, or it's a meme with Bert and Ernie, and it's like one of them's holding an X, and it's like he's teaching the other one who X is going to give it to.
No, I haven't seen that.
Dude, it's hilarious. I don't know, because I find weird memes and stuff like that because me and Grave were going back with the No Clutch Magoo stuff.
Right.
So it was always hard to find stuff that would actually work with that.
Right.
And that was one of the ones that I found. I didn't make anything from it, but it was still funny as hell. Hey, we got Lady Infamous in the chat.
Lady Infamous is here. That's what I'm saying. We're getting some special pop-ins here from some other YouTubers, which is great to see. Really, really appreciate the support, everybody. Can't thank you.
Oh, hell yeah. You and now you've been like doing podcasts on your channel. We might as well call you Next Gen, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, right? I've got like 8 of them. Not by choice, though.
Yeah. Join us for the sports podcast.
Sports podcast.
Tuesday.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. I know.
We really should. We all you gamers out there, we should really expand our horizons, right? I mean, that's what's great about M&C Mornings, though, Crap. I like M&C to be able to dabble on some of the news that's going on throughout the week in all of our lives, right? So, Super Bowl Sunday happened to be very large and a big deal for a lot of people in the United States. I understand if you're in Europe or, even Canada, you're saying, okay, we know what it is, and we see a lot of that crap. A lot of people in our timeline are all showing us all the soccer big championships that are going on in Europe, and all of us recognize it, but we're like, okay,
yeah,
and, it's just Saturday.
Well, it's funny because I remember that last second touchdown the Vikings had over the Saints.
Yes, who could forget
Jamie Moran, who's in England, he goes, I don't know what's going on. Did something just happen? Because everybody's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird for people that don't follow the sport. Like sometimes during the year, I'll see people talking in the mornings about some soccer thing, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
Right. I have no idea. I've learned a lot, though, thanks to Twitter. I know a lot more about soccer than I ever have.
I know there's a ball and some goalposts and some goalies. I know that.
Yeah. Speaking of goalposts that keep moving, crap, bringing this into gaming a little bit.
I like that. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
you like that? Thank you. Speaking of that, how about the fact that Sony has another executive stepping down? But please, no alarm. Please don't be alarmed, right?
Kaz Parai.
Hey, don't need to sound the alarms. What the? You know, that's car.
Zing.
That's car 54. Yes.
It's like I'm treading water there. I'm like, do I go there? No. Well, whatever. It's just jokes, folks. Just jokes. So, yeah, he's gone. And mission accomplished for him, I guess.
Yeah, he did what he had to do. Crap. He's an executive. These guys come in. They're like head coaches of football teams. They come in, they do their tenure, and then they're out.
Yeah.
And, usually with head coaching, you'll see that they'll leave either on a high note with a Super Bowl win if they're too old or older, or if they've just, except for Cleveland. For some reason, Cleveland's okay with a 1-31 record or something.
Let's not forget about the Washington Redskins, right? Those guys.
That's an honorable second, crap.
Yeah, those guys don't know. And the funny thing is, I got some Redskins followers. And it's always fun to kind of make fun of them a little bit and poke fun at them because they've got a young quarterback who can really throw the ball. But hey, let's not pay that guy. Let's bring in a 34-year-old and pay him almost $100 million.
Right.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is a bum.
Yeah, he's the Trent Dilfer of quarterbacks out there right now. So
I don't even know if he has the QB IQ of Trent. At least Trent Dilfer had a good IQ for quarterbacking. I think Alex Smith was just lucky. He really fell into shit crap because he fell into the Kansas City system, and then they picked up Andy Reid. And Andy Reid. Listen, I think Andy Reid's one of those guys.
He's the one that made Donovan McNabb look good.
That's what I'm saying. Andy Reid's a hell of a coach. I don't think he has a great Super Bowl or playoff book. But he's got a great football mind. So Alex Smith was just lucky to fall ass backwards into the Andy Reid book.
He's like, he's one of those. He probably won't turn it over a ton for you, but he's not going to really clutch anything for you. He's no Clutch Magoo.
No Clutch Magoo is exactly who he is.
Yes. So here we are on football.
We're back to football again, guys. That might happen a couple times. We apologize. Big football fans here. Well, 2 out of 3, and as Meatloaf says, that ain't bad. Look. All right. Let's get into gaming a little bit, crap. Something I'll get into a little bit of mooch news. This just in. I went and I had the Xbox One S, 2 terabyte red, ridiculous sounding turn on, turn off noise Xbox One S, and I traded it in yesterday. Finally, GameStop had a hell of a deal.
One, huh?
Yes.
Hopefully Fox isn't listening.
That's probably Fox on the phone right now. Can she strangle people through a phone? We'll find out.
M&C Mornings, what's up?
Come on down.
Thanks, Mooch and Crop. It's a great Canadian web slinger, Mighty Spidey, from the Great White North. Just to give you a little quick thing on the CFL, the CFL is 110 yards long versus 100 yards NFL, and the width of the field is twice the width of the NFL. And the goalposts, Mooch, are on the goal line and not 10 yards back. And Crap and Mooch, I'm a fucking Redskins fan, motherfucker.
Oh, no!
So, Crap, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the North for you. We're Beltway brothers. You guys hate us pretty much. Anyways, yes, we sucked, but I think Alex Smith is a good trade. Anyways, just have a big report about the Beaver and Sean Mert. What's that, Jay? Sorry, I didn't mean to. Oh, dude, just give me a few more. Jay!
Great. It's always good. The audience is even playing a role in our editing. That's great. That is great. Well, listen,
so
I feel
bad for the guy. Yeah.
So do I. I was just going to say that. I feel awful. He's a Redskins fan. My condolences to you and your family.
Yes,
that's awful. It's awful.
I'm so sorry.
It's funny, we say this all the time, crap, but people are like, at least my team did better than your Giants. And I'm like, we won 2 Super Bowls in the past 10 years. Oh, yeah. Wrong number. My bad. Okay, thanks. Thank you to Rain G4. Yeah, tweet out the link, folks. Let people know. So getting back to what I was saying, crap, I went there. And because elite pro member, whatever they call you over there when you get the membership at GameStop, I got roughly just a smidgen under $200 trade-in. I think it was $180, $185 for the trade-in. And then they were giving a $50 gift card on top. So I ended up walking out of there with an Xbox One X, got it for $320. And then I bought with the $50 game card, I bought the God of War game that's coming out, already pre-ordered, ready to go.
God of War is going to be a great game. I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. How can you miss it, right? I mean, you have to get all the staples. I don't care if you're Xbox, Nintendo, whatever.
Oh, sure. You know, like as much of a fanboy as I am, man, I'm the first one to say, hey, man, I'm going to buy God of War. I'm going to buy Spider-Man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to get Detroit, or I don't really care about this.
I don't see Detroit being one of the big. I will pick up Days Gone just because I like the zombie thing. But I'm really, crap, it's funny. We've been sitting here for weeks talking about Sea of Thieves. Okay. We've been talking about it nonstop, but we're not talking about State of Decay 2. And State of Decay 2 is where you really got me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, State of Decay 2, we haven't really seen a whole lot of it.
Very true. I mean? No, Zing, that's very true.
I think, and just getting that back into Game Pass, which, by the way, guys, just for the record, I love Game Pass. I'm just
Crap
saying.
is probably he's actually. I saw you on Times Square. Actually, Crap. It was your logo and saying, "I don't do anything but Game Pass."
Yes, exactly.
Crap gamer quote.
Yeah, that's my new shirt, right? Make it happen, Jay.
Yes.
So yeah, I think Game Pass is going to help. Here's the thing: Microsoft has some decent exclusives with Sea of Thieves, probably being the more notable one, Crackdown 3, and State of Decay 2. The problem is, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and State of Decay 2 maybe aren't as sexy as Spider-Man and God of War and Detroit. You know what I mean? So Game Pass will make it easy for people that were probably just going to avoid the Xbox game exclusives altogether and at least try them out.
Right.
Maybe get hooked. Maybe buy them. Who knows? But at least for, $10, people will at least try them and maybe could save those franchises.
That's what it comes down to, right, Crap? I mean, ultimately, look at it this way, guys. Everyone in the chat, people who like us, people don't. My whole thing I always say is we don't make a red cent off of Microsoft at all. My point is this, Crap, when it comes down to it, you love Sea of Thieves. And in order for Sea of Thieves to really be, you might go, Mooch, I don't need a lot of people to play. As long as I have my core group of friends. Yeah, I get that. But when you're out there on the open seas, you want to have interaction with other sailors and fighting and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, and doing the whole thing and taking their treasure, going back, looting, blah, blah, blah. That stuff. And by having this in Game Pass, it almost, I'm not going to use the word guarantees, but it almost guarantees you have a shit ton more active players in the world that you love to roam in. So I think ultimately it's a great thing for everybody. But that being said, we'll find out. I think March 20th is really the say all end all to find out how Game Pass does with the hardcore folks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure that they'll say their numbers. We probably won't get any hard numbers, but hey,
right,
we'll get percentages and
hey, people active.
We had this many people on Sea of Thieves or whatever, which we heard that was over 300,000.
That's a lot of people.
Beta,
Crap.
That is
period. Flat out.
Yeah. Probably more than they expected for sure.
Absolutely. Guys, call in. You have M&C Mornings for Skype. Definitely call in.
Also, remember to call and leave voicemails during the week. We had a sad
we had a low week this week. So
a sad week of voicemails, man.
We're going to be including call-ins today for the prize at the end of the show on the wheel. So if you call in today, you'll be added to the wheel.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, definitely live call in. Let us know how you're feeling. There's a lot of stuff going on, or even if you want to just scream on the phone who you're looking forward to in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. As long as it's not the Patriots, we're good.
Right. There's only two teams, so Crap's left it wide open for you guys.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is? Both those fan bases, and I hate to say this because could piss off some of the audiences, are lunatics. Right? Like, I cannot stand those fan bases. They're like, you got Eagles, and maybe this isn't all Eagles fans, but you got the ones that huck batteries at people.
Yeah, they're tough.
You know what I mean?
The link.
Then you got the Patriots one that makes fun of people who have died or whatever. I can remember years ago, the Ravens were playing them, and it was just a regular season game. Ravens won that, by the way. And Torrey Smith, who's now in the Eagles, was a Ravens wide receiver, and his brother died in a motorcycle crash. And Patriots fans were like making fun of him, like nonstop, like on social media and stuff. I was like, what the hell is wrong with people?
Right.
What the hell is wrong with people?
I don't know. I know that, listen, being a Giants fan, I know that everybody out in Eagle Nation, man, they're tough. That's probably the one stadium I don't want to go visit with a Giants jersey on. You'll be leaving wearing more Philly cheesesteaks than you ate. So, I mean, to be honest with you, that's the way they are. Pats fans, I think that this is me, right, Crap? You're an AFC guy, so you know more about it. Yeah. Pats fans are very arrogant. But the thing is, though, when you're good for this long kind of just.
I mean, really though, have they been good for this long? I mean, Tom Brady's been playing 20 years,
right?
I mean, realistically, they won against the Seahawks. That was their first Super Bowl win in over a decade,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't say, hey, they've been good. I mean, they've lost a couple in there.
The New York Giants. I'd like.
Yeah, the one that they weren't supposed to lose at all when they were undefeated. I remember everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win."
Oh yeah, listen. There was so many. See, all my friends are Cowboys and Eagles fans. So when that game was going on, crap, it's the reverse of today. Okay, so when it was Pats Giants, everyone at the party I was at was already wearing the shirts that were made. They went and got like Patriots win the Super Bowl over the Giants. They had these shirts already made. And it was funny when we were driving home, they like chucked them all out and burned them in the garbage. It was such a great night. No, but I mean, like, I think that they have done something right. Here's the reason I say that, crap. You say in the decade, Tom Brady's been there 20 years. Look at the Eagles. They've been there since, Christ came down. They don't have a championship yet. So,
that's just because they're lousy.
Right,
Come on.
And now that Peyton Manning is no longer playing football, the Colts will never win again. Probably.
Hey, to be fair, though, look at the Eagles division. They're in a division with consistently decent teams, well, except for the Redskins.
Yeah.
Where the Patriots are always,
Redskins.
Where the Patriots are constantly playing Jets, Bills, and Dolphins. Like those teams, how many quarterbacks have those teams gone through in the last decade? How many like that? That's like a guarantee.
That's a great stat, crap.
6 wins every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they get the home field, and then they get the bye week, and then it's like they always luck out. You know what I mean? Like when the Ravens win the Super Bowl in 2012, exactly 5 years ago today.
Yeah.
Who do they get to play? Oh, they get to play the Colts with Andrew Luck at that time, who was up and coming. Then they go to Denver, beat Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Then they go to New England, beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. Then they go to the Super Bowl and beat Kaepernick. He used to be a thing, and the high-flying 49ers, who everybody said would win. You know what I mean? And then they, so my teams, whenever they do it, they always got to go play the toughest teams and the toughest road. And that, and I'm always happy about that because you had the best team here.
Well, that's the same.
Patriots fans, I don't think they've ever won one where they go, damn, we had the best team that year. The year they had the best team, they got stumped in the Super Bowl by a guy who caught the ball in his helmet.
That's right. Well, that's what's funny. So that same year, though, think about it this way, though, crap, saying what you just said. In 2007, the Giants had to hit the road we're the road warriors. We beat Dallas and Dallas. We beat Green Bay and Green Bay. Right. And then we also beat Atlanta in Atlanta. And then we went and beat the undefeated Patriots. Okay. With, like you said, a little bit of sticky gum on Tyree's helmet. Listen, it doesn't matter how you get there, folks. It's just that you beat the Patriots, right? Apparently that's Crap's motto.
They're going to call us.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Stop
talking football. Sorry, guys.
They're going to be like, stop talking sports.
Getting a lot of Z's here in the chat.
Yeah, sorry, guys. M&C Mornings, what's up?
Hey, now.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Mooch? Crap. J-Dubs. It's James176. Hope everyone's having a good Super Bowl Sunday. Well, but seriously, my question for you guys is, how many millions do you think Xbox has to sell for a Game Pass to be a success? I'm just kind of curious. Thank you for taking my call, and rack 'em up. Bye.
Listen, James, that's a great question. Crap, that may be a number that means something, right? Because we're not going to know individual games because of usage, but you would know. They could say that, after, Sea of Thieves in 2018, Game Pass now has, I'm making this up. Let's just say they say 5 million subscribers, or whatever they say, and that number keeps going up every year. That's something that they can kind of pound their chest about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they will ever go, we got this many. They say they have good numbers or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or good, feedback for it, but I'm not sure they'll ever say how many numbers. They started doing the whole mix all the numbers together for monthly active users, which is up, by the way. It's like almost 60 million or whatever.
Yeah, so, didn't they show PlayStation at 31 million or something?
31 paying, 31.5 paying PlayStation Plus subscribers.
So we don't know what the paying number is on Xbox.
No clue.
Crap, I'll tell you right now, I would venture to say that it's close to that.
Maybe. I mean, it could be. I mean, we're the only suckers that pay for that, though. You know what I mean? Like,
that is true.
PC and mobile don't pay for that. So
that is very true.
Yeah. M&C Mornings, what's up?
Mooch, Crap, and Jay, good morning. How are you doing on this fine Super Bowl Sunday? I can honestly care less about a Super Bowl because my team's not playing, the Miami Dolphins. but I am glad they beat the Patriots, even though everybody cried and complained and said it was a fluke. I could care less. Dolphins beat them. I got one question for you guys. How crazy would it be if Microsoft did end up buying EA, and the kicker for allowing all the sports games and multiplayer games they want to be on other platforms is you can have them, but you have to allow crossplay to kind of bend Sony's hand there. I wonder how that would go down. All right, guys, enjoy your Sunday. Have a good time. See you. This Underground Gamer.
So I don't know if Underground wrote me on Xbox Live or not, but someone else has posed that question to say that.
I posed that question myself.
Was it? Okay. I don't know if it's necessarily, I don't think that matters. I don't think they're going to hold a game ransom for crossplay. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, if they,
I still don't get that, man. I apologize to everybody in the audience. I mean, I get the concept of crossplay, but frankly, have you ever turned on your Xbox and just been like, man, I don't have enough people to play with. I'm wondering what's going on in Nintendo world. What? I mean, what? I mean, there's even look for group now. So even if you go, well, Mooch, that's not fair, okay? I've only got 10 friends on here, and I just started. Okay, well, then post a looking for group, which keeps you on the same ecosystem and probably runs better. I don't understand why would you want to play Rocket League with the Switch? I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, do I get it? I get it, but it's just, you know, you ever have somebody in line with you when you're buying an ice cream cone? They're like, hey, is that any good? And you're like, it's really good. And the person next to you goes, you mind if I try a sample? You're like, get your own. Like, I don't understand the whole cross-play thing. I don't know. 2 spoons, one ice cream sundae doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why get your own. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What's the appeal?
I don't know. I think that I think that the appeal is to keep the communities alive longer, I guess. You know, I don't really know. I'm always like saying I don't mind if there's crossplay, but give me the option not to have to play against certain people. You know what I mean? Like the Sea of Thieves thing was kind of annoying that, hey, you have to play with PC people.
Right.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's troubling because they're taking the option out of your, you know, your hands. But I don't know. That didn't bother me as much. I don't think, and I know you made a couple of points, Crap, and I can't talk you out of it because your points hold water, but I just don't think that they're that significant. Like somebody with PC, I played with a PC player, actually. I played with on the beta, and he wasn't like able to do much else than I was. You know, I didn't mind it in that case. I mind it for Gears and Halo and shooters, but for rummaging through, you know, buried treasure and sailing a ship, I don't care if he could put the sail up, you know, a smidgen faster than me. I didn't find that to be awkward or odd or unfair. So that's a me thing. I didn't have a problem with that. You know, it's funny. I see Free Jack keep talking about poker. Man, just a random wacky request from Mooch. If anybody ever can talk to somebody at Microsoft, can we please get Full House Poker back? I don't know why, dude. I played Monster Hunter last night until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, when I was done, I was like, man, I just want to play something, but not like another game. I don't want to shut off a big game to start another big game at 1 a.m. But it was so much fun on 360 to just kick on Full House Poker and play a couple hands and just talk some shit with people at the table. And people were just some people were just letting out their life problems. It was fun, like just goofing on other shit. It was even football talk, crap. Like day before Super Bowl, people would be just bullshitting about how they're betting on this team or how much they hate that team. And I just wish they'd have a game like that. That's right. You know? So I don't know. For some reason, I just wish that, you know, shout out to Free Jack out there in the chat. He just got me thinking about Full House Poker again. Can't see why that's not available. It's very cheap for Microsoft.
1 vs 100 was
1 vs 100 too, right? That's a fan favorite. I like how they bring back Crimson Skies, which has the player base of 2, but they won't bring back 1 vs 100, and they won't bring back Full House Poker.
That game didn't even last very long, and it was super popular. I remember. I don't know what the hell the deal was, but that was one of the more popular games, and people used to love Uno too. By the way,
yeah, Uno as well. I don't know.
They did bring that back though. I think there's a new one, or
isn't there another poker game that just came out recently?
Free Jack Prominence Poker came out a while ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if but does that have the same interact? You don't use your avatars first of all in that.
No.
I think you just maybe your avatar picture or a picture you pick. And I don't know if it has the interaction with the people at the table the way that the other one used to have.
Right.
But yeah, nonetheless, you know, I think we should kind of go back. I do want to talk about the Sony CEO thing, crap, because if this was Microsoft, wouldn't this be a catastrophe? Maybe
It
the
would
end of
be,
Xbox,
especially since
right?
Sony's lost a lot of their.
Red alert!
Oh shit!
Red alert!
Fire that guy. He set the alarm off early. There's
right?
no bomb, people. Yeah, there's no anyway. So yeah, they lost Boys 2 years ago. That they've already lost Boys' replacement this year.
House
is gone. Now Kaz is gone. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. Like honestly, I'm not sure. Is this like I know a lot of people don't want to believe it, but like the new guy they hired to replace House is very service oriented. So it'll be interested to see what they do. Like I'm not suggesting that they're going to do a Game Pass situation, but they could. I mean,
yeah,
PlayStation Now would be so much better if it was download instead of streaming. I realized that would they're like, hey, Sony would be like, hey, take our $380 million. We don't want it, because that's what they paid for that stuff. But here's the thing. Nobody likes that. Right. Nobody, hardcore gamers specifically, don't want to stream their games, and I can't say I blame them. There's data caps, there's this, there's that, there's you hit some latency bumps or whatever, then you get a really pixelated image. It's just not good. Right. It's not going to be good when Microsoft does it, right? Like they're going to do it, but again, it's just going to be an option. So I'm okay.
Somebody said in the chat, did Kaz get promoted? It's not a promotion. He's now sitting on like a board, but like that's kind of like what you do when you retire. You know what I mean?
In Japan, that's what happened. You get what's considered the window seat. Right. Which is like, because I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, but it's like one of those things where he's leaving but then he's going to also still be there to,
Right. But they said the same thing about House. They said when House was leaving, he would also get a chairman seat. You know what I mean? Like, once a month you kind of show up. It's like being part of the 4-H club at this point. He shows up once a month. He votes on something. It's not that I think what it is it's an honorable thing to do to an executive, right? To say you've spent so much time. You're part of the chair, the board, and you'll have a vote when we go to move, such and such forward, or we'll think about taking. But I mean, realistically, Kaz I think he retired basically for the most part.
Yeah.
So no, he wasn't promoted. Will he have say in operations? I don't think so. I don't think that's I don't think he wants any say in operations. I think he wants to play golf and relax.
Yeah.
And rightfully
M&C
so. M&C,
Mornings.
come on down.
What's up?
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Hey, Mooch and Crap and J-Dub, how you doing? This is Yahweh Wee from Xbox Live. Hey, since this is Super Bowl Sunday, I need to deflate these Eagle fans faster than Tom Brady can deflate his footballs. It's going to be the Eagles versus the refs today, and everybody knows that because look how they screwed the Pittsburgh Steelers from home field advantage. But enough of the Eagles losing to the ref, because the refs like to help the Patriots cheat. But this question is for J-Dub, because since he lives up in Canada, I would like to know if you guys are in the Super Bowl Sunday up there. If not, if you are you guys sick and tired of these damn Patriots cheating with Spygate and deflating footballs and being freaking cheaters and paying the refs off and freaking all that other shit? So I would like to hear your say about it, Jay. Thank you.
Hey, Jay. We're wondering if you even know and recognize today's Super Bowl Sunday. And then his second part of his question was, and then can you get into fine detail how much you hate how Deflategate was a thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, put it this way: if it doesn't involve ice, I don't watch it.
Right.
And if like there are a lot of fans. There are a lot of friends of mine that are big into football. And they're big into American football, not Canadian football, believe it or not.
I can understand why.
Yeah,
exactly.
No kidding.
And almost every year I get invited to a Super Bowl party, and every year I refuse to go because I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to be the annoying guy in the room saying, what just happened? Why did that happen? Why did that guy get to do that? Why is that guy touching that other guy's ass? I don't. That's the thing. Like, I don't know enough about the sport, and I've tried. I've even gone as far as playing the video games, like the Maddens, to try to learn the game to be more in tune with the actual game itself. And I haven't I just haven't gotten it yet, and I think I just need to sit down with a few people that are, enthusiastic about it and that can explain it to me a lot easier because, if you think about it.
It's funny you say that. It's an interesting take because, like,
it's hard to explain football to people.
I don't really think it's that. You think it's difficult?
I think it is. It's difficult to explain baseball to people too.
Yes, believe it or not, baseball's miniature rules. I mean, I've been coaching baseball now for years. Like, I got news for you. Like, in all honesty, like, it's like there's a lot of the inner workings of baseball that people don't realize. They're like, what do you mean? You hit the ball, you run the base. Yeah, it's a little more than that. But, I mean, football I thought was pretty clear. You know what I mean? You've got the 10-yard, but you can't get better than TV now, crap. They mark off the 10 yards for the first down. You have 4 attempts to get past the big yellow line.
Yeah, they put a big yellow line up.
Get past the yellow line in 4 attempts. If you don't get past it, you've got to punt it to the other team. You got to let then the other team has 4 attempts to keep moving it 10 yards each time till they get into the big end zone. Game over. Like, I mean, that's the essentials. Is there more to it? Yes, there's all the penalties and things like that. But those are the same as soccer, right? There's offsides in soccer, but then there's all the penalties in between, and hit the ball into the damn net and don't do it offsides. That's basically, the long and the short of it. Same thing goes for hockey. You know what I mean? There's icing, there's offsides.
I learned hockey rules playing the game, to be honest with you. Like, every time I play that game, it's like icing, offside. You know what I mean? Like, and then finally you learned
blades of steel.
Yes, blades of steel.
About it. Blades of steel.
Because if you think about it, like all the sports that involve like things like soccer or hockey or I don't know, like there are so many sports that are so similar, like as in the way that the game is played. You go from one end to the other, you try to get it in the net or in the basket. Basketball's the same, and there's offsides, and there's like they're very similar with a few slight rules. But with football, I find, especially the plays, like I don't understand why is that play allowed to happen now, and why did they decide to do that? Like there's too many plays in football. Because I remember going through the list of plays trying to play Madden and saying, well, what the hell am I supposed to pick here?
That's different. That's play calling. That I can see where you're saying that is a bit on the confusing end, because I mean now you're trying to learn the sport through the eyes of a coach. That's a little different. And by the way, Gorillion Shekels, wipe your eye boogies. Wake up. It's not our fault that a caller is all talking about football. It's not our fault. We're just keeping up with the Joneses, folks.
I do. There is a little bit of some breaking news, though, so I can talk about that. What do you got,
Crap?
Yes. Well, this is so an industry insider, supposedly, and this is all up in my feed, has leaked out that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to be the game this year from Treyarch.
Wow.
And it's going to be coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch, and it's set in modern times. Yeah, nice. Modern times with boots on the ground, no jetpacks or anything like that.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that
a lot. It's funny because yesterday I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 with my buddy Grave, and we were just talking about
This just in, that was the only 2.
No.
No.
I tell you what, we were playing that Heroes mode, and we were having a good time with that. That game is so much fun. I picked up some achievements in there. Really good. I love that game. It's amazing. But anyway,
somebody does. Go ahead.
We were playing that, and then we played some PUBG too, and we were like, we really thought we'd be playing more Call of Duty, because it's a really good Call of Duty game, and I haven't hardly played that game.
I haven't touched. I beat the campaign and never touched the multiplayer, which is the complete opposite of what I do. The problem is that with PUBG coming out just 2-3 weeks after the release of Call of Duty, it took that online multiplayer itch away from me. I didn't need to go to
Battlefront 2 is definitely worth it. That game has got so much content. It's a lot of fun. The arcade mode, the single player mode, the various multiplayer modes. It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of modes. I can't argue the modes. There's a lot of modes.
Like, here's the thing, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game, and it plays really good.
It is. That's true.
People didn't buy it. Well, I mean, still, there's a good number of people that play it, but it didn't sell as well as the first one, and the reason being was because of the progression and stuff like that. I got to be honest. I do good on the game, and I'm not like the best gamer, but I consistently do good on that game. And I don't have any star cards. I don't really have any good star cards or anything. I'm just good at, you know what I mean? Like, that's my style of game.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. For some reason, I just find it's so casual. It's the same thing with Overwatch. Like, I've been watching your videos. Crap, you did a couple videos on Overwatch going to 4K.
Because you
and
know
it's
what,
just so blah. It's just shoot from the hip, throw a grenade. Shoot from the hip, throw a grenade, stand back.
Any Overwatch footage because I don't play that trash. But yeah,
Well,
you know.
No, but I mean, no, it doesn't matter. I don't blame you there. But even like when I watch anybody, it's not to put the spotlight on you. When I've watched a ton of people early on that were doing the Star Wars Battlefront footage, and none of it roped me in. I'm just like, it's so casual and boring. I don't know, for some reason that's a me problem. I just think that, like you say, Crap. I mean, look at Fortnite versus PUBG. The reason I think we both agreed that PUBG is much better is because Fortnite's just corny. It's casual. It's goofy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
Yeah, Fortnite is goofy. I don't really like that show.
It's a little goofy.
That game.
Thank you to Michael Carcello.
I wanted to actually talk about that a little bit too, because Cliffy B was talking about how he helped make that game, and I was like, like, yeah.
Which one did he help make?
He helped make Fortnite.
Yikes!
Yeah.
More reason to not like it.
Yeah. M&C Mornings.
M&C Mornings. Yes, sir. Come on down.
Okay. Hi, Mooch. Hi, Crap. I'm
What's
Gaming
up?
Tech from Europe, calling for the first time. What I wanted to ask you guys is, I think now Microsoft, the status of the Xbox is very sad. You know, I'm a Xbox. I've always been an Xbox guy. But what Microsoft is doing now with the Xbox, I think Microsoft is giving up on the hardcore gamers. And I just want to know why. Why do you think, you guys think it's becoming like that? This is not the Xbox from the first Xbox, the 360. Microsoft has let me down, man. It's very sad. Let me hear your opinion, guys. Thank you.
Well, I mean, you know, it's interesting he says that. Don't get me wrong. The caller has.
We're like 5 regimes moved from the first Xbox.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to
a
say,
different landscape. And
what is the same as it was in 2005?
Yeah.
Anything? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Like he even said original Xbox. So even going further back.
Yeah, going back to 01.
Yeah, like
02. I mean,
you know, even on the Sony side, things are completely different. They go one way than the other. Microsoft is doing what's best to keep the brand viable for them. If talking monthly active users and all that kind of stuff is what they measure success by, then that's fine.
Yeah.
They're a little bit of a weird situation. That, like, you can say there's a little bit of desperation in there with Game Pass and stuff like that. But you know what? The bottom line is they're offering some values to gamers. And that could be a way to get people to try their games or their platform. So, you know, you can't really fault them for that. As for the hardcore stuff, they're putting out hardcore games all the time. They stopped the casual stuff. Years ago, you had a complaint about not treating hardcore gamers right. Now, I don't think you have a complaint there. Sorry.
No, I mean, I want to kind of embellish a little bit more on this. I mean, go back and watch your favorite 2001 TV show. Go ahead. It's going to look like it was made in 1972. Like, that was a long time ago. Everything is like you're buying things left and right on your phone. In 2001, you weren't. You're buying things, you know, with your now face recognition. You weren't doing that in 2001. You're now yelling, Alexa. This is a person that doesn't live in your house and asking her what the weather is.
Not me, because she records shit.
That's right, Crap.
I can't have that.
I can't have the government spying on me. But my point is, like, these are things you just weren't doing in 2001. So to say that Microsoft's turned its back on the hardcore, I don't think that's, you know, my opinion is I don't think that's true. Yeah. I understand where you can make a case. We can all make a case on anything these days. You know, everyone's become quite the great trial attorney, right? Everybody's like, it's a great case on the other side. But realistically, all they're doing is changing with the times. I bought tickets to go see a concert this summer, right? And when I did that, I got the option in an email. It said the person you're going to see, their new album drops this day. Because you went to buy tickets, I can either get the CD or I can get the digital copy of the CD. And I picked the digital copy of the CD, right? Like, I didn't want them to mail me the disc. Like, that would just get thrown underneath like somebody's car seat and stepped on in 3 weeks. Yeah. So, like, that's just where we're at, guys. So it's not that they're reneging or they're not paying attention to you or don't care. They do, but they're changing with the times. It's different ways of purchasing. It's different ways of playing. Look at Crap is a big fan of VR. Others are a big fan of VR, not just put it on Crap. This is something that in 2001 was just only in a... It was only available in a Stephen King movie called The Lawnmower Man. That was the only way you were able to see VR and be like, oh, is that what that is? You know, now people are using it in their homes. So, I mean, you can't sit there and say that Microsoft's making any kind of wrong decisions. They're trying something new. They're rolling with the changes. So let's see what we got. We got a call.
With the change. Oh, that's a song, but yeah. Okay.
I was going to do that too, crap. Yeah.
M&C Mornings, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Mooch? What's up, crap? This is Gotham Guy here. Long-time listener, first-time caller, long-time Dallas Cowboy fan. So, sorry, Mooch. You know, it's all good, though. Calling from the San Francisco Bay Area. You guys have a great show. You guys are like my CNN of everything that's video games. But what I wanted to say was the rumor about us or Microsoft acquiring EA, whether that's true or not. Whether it's true or not, I really think we need to at least nab at least 3 major third-party exclusives for launch or time exclusive. Those 3, I believe, should be Titanfall, Anthem, obviously, for next year's release, and, of course, Mass Effect. I think those 3 games should be Xbox exclusive on at least time to release or a full third-party, because Mass Effect came out for Xbox first. It was one of the best RPG games, especially number 2. I think if they take their time with Mass Effect, take a break, just like they did with Assassin's Creed, take a year off, you know, finish Anthem, then let Casey Hudson just focus on Mass Effect, because everybody loves a comeback, you know, story. I think that would be fantastic. Anthem, we should just nail that right away and be a third-party exclusive. And Titanfall, you guys said it before that Titanfall was always better on the Xbox when it released as an exclusive. It didn't do as well when it was a multi-platform. So I think it bodes well for EA. You know, if they're having troubles with microtransactions with Star Wars or Anthem being delayed, I think if they just team up with Microsoft for those 3 things, those 3 games, that would be fantastic. It was a big win for Microsoft, not so much for Sony. Anyway, that's all I got to say. You guys are fantastic. I got to root for New England because I just don't want the Eagles to get their first Super Bowl win. But just want to say thanks, guys. You guys are awesome, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, we're in the same boat there, buddy. But no, in all honesty, to talk about Mass Effect and his thought crap, you know, listen, here's the thing, you know, with nostalgia being a hell of a drug and all, like, you know, we've got to stop and understand that Mass Effect kind of got a blemish on its record after the last one. I understand certain people liked it, you being one of them, but the masses didn't buy into it. So to just turn around and say, oh, Microsoft, as soon as Anthem's done, grab my, you know, ME and do something with it with Casey Hudson, that I truly believe that's not going to happen. Or at least Microsoft's involvement anyways will be minimal. I don't know if EA will roll with it. But that to me isn't really a viable option. I do see them trying to maybe whisk away some exclusives from EA. You know, crap, when all these EA rumors were going on, the only thing that kind of kept on like me, I kept thinking maybe might happen is because an article came out that EA and BioWare are they're not at odds, but they're having a hard time here because it looks like Anthem's costing them a pretty penny. This might be something where Microsoft steps in and says, hey, EA, what if we start to absorb some of the cost, but Anthem becomes a, you know, 3-month, 1 month, 6-month Game Pass day and date exclusive.
They won't. There's never going to be any big third-party games.
Don't say that. Crap. Don't say that because it's all recorded, dude.
Never going to. I don't care. There's never going to be.
There will be. There will be. It's the only way Game Pass can survive.
Exactly.
It's the only way.
But here's the thing. They don't.
Why not, crap? If I'm paying you, why would you say never? That makes no sense.
Why would Microsoft bother with that? You know what I mean? Why would they bother to pay a shit ton of money to get some kind of third-party game? You know.
I got one word for you: Titanfall. And, you know, the thing about it is like that. Why would they do that? Why would they do Shadow of the Tomb Raider? Why would they do Rise of the Tomb Raider? They did.
Who knows if they will do Shadow of the Tomb Raiders? Who knows? I mean,
they did Rise.
But they seem focused on their own exclusive content. I don't think they're ever going to put.
There's a stopgap here. We need to fill it because there's nothing exclusive coming out from Microsoft till the end of 2019.
Exactly. That's why. But again, going by your own words, Game Pass isn't a big deal. You know,
it's not. But if they're trying, now listen, I agree with you. But let me tell you why you're wrong. Mooch, you got it, Dale. You nailed that. My thing about it is this. I think you have to have third-party support. Listen, right now, here's the thing, crap. See, you say third-party doesn't matter and it won't happen. But I don't
think it don't matter. I think it would be huge if it happened.
Right.
But Jesus Christ, how much does that cost them?
Well, hold on. Before we get into the money part of it, half of Game Pass right now is third-party games. So what I'm saying,
but they're not in their day and date.
No. But you take a new IP, which is always risque. Like new IPs don't just do great out the gate. Look at, Sunset Overdrive. right? But at the same time, you put it in the Game Pass where it's easily accessible for $10, and you're going to say to EA, I'm going to give you $1, $2, $3 every time someone downloads it. That's the same thing with games with gold, right? Or PS
that's
Plus.
not nearly a good a deal to them.
Well, sure it is. PlayStation's still going to get it.
Well, imagine they did that with Destiny, right? Like they had to sell 15 million copies of Destiny to break even or whatever it was. And they're like, well, we're going to put it on Game Pass too. They would have, that game would have flopped horribly. You know, like there's a reason why that Nintendo will never do a Game Pass, right? And you think if Microsoft was selling, like, look, that new Mario game,
but you're
almost 10 million copies.
See, you're using
if these Xbox exclusive were selling like that, do you think they'd be putting them in day?
No,
They wouldn't.
absolutely not. But hear me out though, crap. You picked the one. See, that's the thing. Your analogy worked for that one particular situation with Destiny. Okay, but then you could pick any other game that EA came out with that flopped hard. Let's pick Mass Effect Andromeda. Okay, flopped. So why wouldn't that have done better in Game Pass? And the answer is it would have. But
they didn't know.
But that's my point. And right now, there's articles out that EA and BioWare are financially banging heads, and they're saying, listen, for what we're putting in, we don't think we're going to get out. So if Microsoft comes and says, listen, we want you guys to put this thing on disc and run with it all over every platform. But all I'm saying is we'll give you a nice little hefty chunk. It makes my Game Pass look good. Plus, you're starting off looking pretty good in your pocket. It's not necessarily out of the question with a new IP like this. I understand where you're coming from.
It is, but I mean, I just don't. I think Microsoft is focused on more on their own, getting their own exclusive content out for that than trying.
And that may be. Maybe we'll just find out that Microsoft has a bunch of Telltale games they're going to release every month. Maybe that's what it is. But I mean, you could be right. And it
maybe. I mean, I don't really. I just don't see them going out of their way to get third parties day and date on there because they said the same. This whole spiel that they said sounds exactly the same thing that they said with Play Anywhere. Where they're like, well, third parties have expressed interest in being part of Play Anywhere, so we're gonna lead with our first party and see what happens.
Anywhere. But remember, crap, you're right. But Play Anywhere costs the customer $0 extra. This is something Microsoft's making money on, so there is more of an interest in Game Pass. Play Anywhere was like, okay, I bought Resident Evil 7. Now I can play it on PC if I want.
Well, yeah, but their whole idea was to get people into that ecosystem, whether it be PC or Xbox.
And that didn't work, in my opinion, your opinion, right? I agree with you.
Yeah.
But Game Pass, it does interest the console gamer.
I don't see it as a big deal. Like, I was way overblown with my original statements for the main reason being Microsoft can't go third party because they don't have enough games and studios to go third party. Right. So
right.
Yeah. That was my fault for kind of jumping the gun and being pissy with that. But at the same time, I don't think that this is that big a deal either. They were trying to make a little bit of a splash with the announcement, and
I agree
because they've got a few games. But I don't see Game Pass as a big deal at all.
No, it's really, and that ultimately it's not. That's 100% accurate. I just think if Microsoft even wants to talk about this in the next 12 months, look at BioWare and Anthem are too big of a name. If you want to say that, I'll agree with you. But some sort of B+ AAA game has to show up. If it doesn't, I just don't. It's even less of a deal than we're talking about. So I really agree with you.
Yeah,
that it's really nothing.
Well, if you ever see Phil Spencer talking about third parties, he's talking about small third parties, right?
Right.
He's talking about Game Pass. I don't think we'll see. It wouldn't make sense, man. These companies put too much money in this, and they need that
crap.
big
You said Bethesda. I was watching a past show we did, and you said Bethesda never would. Here's the thing: Bethesda has quite the array of AAA games. They've got some that are just blockbuster, and then they got things like The Evil Within 2, which
all their stuff
not.
does that though. All their stuff though, like that's why I never really buy Bethesda.
Didn't do that great until it was half price. Crap.
Yeah, I mean, M&C Mornings.
M&C Mornings. Sorry about that.
Hello.
Good conversation.
Hello, Mooch and Crap. This is Sir X-Man. My question today is for J-Dubs. J-Dubs, in a simplified way, could you explain to us how you work your magic with the Mooch and Crap in the morning show? That's all, guys. Have a good football day, and talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
There you go, Jay. Give me and Crap a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, how do I work my magic? Jesus Christ.
How do you work your magic?
Well,
it's like an episode of Cribs. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a magic toque, and I put my magic toque on, and it inspires me to create awesome things. Okay, I'll lay it down as simple as I can, because believe me, the technical side of all this stuff is probably boring as hell to most people. But I'm using OBS. OBS is a free piece of software that you can use to stream to many different sources: YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, all those programs. We use specifically YouTube, and I create backgrounds, and everything's a layer. So if you notice here, if you're looking at the screen, the bottom layer or the background layer is the set, is an image that I kind of manipulated. I found an image online and manipulated it.
Don't let him fool you. That's actually our set.
That's us. We're actually there.
Right now.
We are right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Crap, pass me the.
Here you go. Here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
And the microphone that comes down from the center is another layer, and I have that animated in using. I used a video clip. I did that in Adobe Premiere. The Google Hangouts, which we're talking on now, is set up as a screen as a monitor capture, and I masked it to the center of the pop filter to kind of give it, because it's round, and I figured it was, that's the way that the Google Hangouts are round. And in OBS, you give the option down the bottom to do scrolling text, and that's kind of all it is. It's a little bit of a magic where it comes from doing video in the background, and then changing from video to still images on the fly using OBS, and lots of layers. So if anyone knows anything about Photoshop or Adobe Premiere or Illustrator, they know you work in layers, and the more things you put on top of each other, the better they are. So
I just found out two things, Jay. We were at 340 watching. We started talking football. We lost them, and apparently Tech Talk also drops gamers.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he was boring me. I was about to fall asleep. I'm just saying.
No, it's not. Football and tech apparently have no interest in gamers at all. So watch. Now we'll say watch games, and now there's like 400 people. Yeah, I don't understand that, because I actually think it is pretty cool stuff that Jay does behind the scenes, to be honest with you. But that's the world I love to dabble in. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was. I mean, it's interesting, Crap. We have to see what E3 will bring.
It better bring some good stuff.
They gotta, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here and just watch another 40 indies go up there and be like, we're happy to bring you all of these. We'll just have Chris Charla showing up. Okay, Jesus. Thanks.
Yeah,
right.
If they do that, man, I don't even know.
Let's hope that doesn't become a thing.
Yeah. Here's Chris Charla.
Chris Charla, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, Chris Charla, doesn't he look like there was a comedian that did the Men in Black 2? Remember, he was up in the he lived in his parents' attic, and he helped them out when they were trying to get Tommy Lee Jones's memory back. What's his name?
I don't remember his name, but he was going to take his girlfriend to Cambodia.
Yes. That's the guy that Chris Charla. Every time I see Chris Charla, I think of him. And
he's like you could get a lobster dinner for $1.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith is like, spend more than $1.
Right.
So
that's great.
Yeah,
Chris Charla, everybody.
Dude, keep him off the thing. I don't want to see any Minecraft. I don't want to see Chris Charla up there. I don't want to see any of that stuff, to be honest with you. I want to see. Lace Chuck says, how about Cuphead Girl? Sure, bring Cuphead Girl up there.
Cuphead Girl can be out there as much as she likes. Yes.
Keep Shannon Loftus off the stage.
Yes.
You can bring Mikey Barr on stage if he's got something to actually say, like
Mike.
We got some backwards compatibility, bitch.
Yeah, I like Mike. Mike does a drop the mic moment all the time. Mike, I thought Mike should have came out, and I understand why, but I thought Mike should have came out and did the Scorpio presentation last year. Instead of that other guy, the It's a Monster guy, instead of having him come out. And I know I think it's his baby. That's
he
why.
Did a meme. That was like, he was part of the meme, like It's a Monster.
Right. I also think he's one of the core engineers that worked very heavily on the inner body of the Scorpio. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the placement, but Mikey Barr is more of the people think of him as, even though he's more in charge, I think, of the UI. I don't even know if that's actually what he's in charge of now that he's been promoted. But he definitely overlooks that element. But I think Mike has a repertoire with a reputation with the gamers, with the fans. So where that other guy came out and we're like, who's this guy? Somebody bring me Chris Charla. Yeah. I don't know.
Thank God for Chris Charla.
Thank God for Chris Charla. I love it when after the ID at Xbox portion, like Twitter's just like, Chris Charla, we love you. And like they're like, we'll tweet you again in 12 months.
Yeah. You know what? They're the same people that are like, Chris Charla, we love you, are the same people that are are out there crying over Ori 2 announcement.
That's correct. It's correct. It's very true. Yes. Yes.
Hey, you know, we do have a few voicemails. We might
so true. We do have a voicemail, Jay. We could play a voicemail.
Who do we got, Jay?
We have only 3, but our number one is a new caller. He goes by Jaguar98.
Well, there you go, Crap.
Okay.
Hey Mooch, hey Crap, hey Jay, long time listener, first time caller. Just got a hypothetical question for you. So you've been invited out to the Microsoft office in Seattle. You've just been handed your 3rd latte from the team responsible for doing Upload Studio. And you've just finished taking your 3rd selfie with Stein. And now you're sitting at the round table with Matt Booty and Phil Spencer. I was just wondering what sort of pitch you guys would make, whether that's a new IP or the direction you want them to take the Xbox brand. All right, guys, have a good one. Big fan of the show. Keep it up.
That's great. Love how he pays attention to the show.
First of all, I wouldn't be taking any selfies with Stein.
No selfies with Stein.
Yeah, that shit wouldn't be happening. But I would pitch. I'd say, picture this: Uncharted meets Tomb Raider. Combine the two into a new Xbox exclusive. Go. That's what I'd say.
You sounded like Movie Phone. That was great. I loved it.
That's exactly what I'd say.
I think that's a pretty good. I like
kind of co-op campaign.
Absolutely. I think you just hit a home run, Crap.
Yeah, dude, there you go. Put it in Game Pass, making you $1 billion.
Crap gamer for Xbox president. No, I think that's something. I think that I would if Crap was going to go ahead and attack the games, I would sit there and actually start to talk about the marketing and what's going right, what's going wrong. That's the first thing I would say is you're not reaching people. You're just not. And Game Pass is going to be another big example of, yes, you're putting in this work in the infrastructure. You're doing a hell of a job with it. And then you're not communicating it correctly. Get more of your consoles with your first party games into custom consoles, because even though I'm not a fan of that, I don't speak for all the fans. The fans want that. Sea of Thieves not having a custom console is a huge oops. It's a huge oops. Yeah. You put a game like this that's got 300,000 people watching it on Twitch. You put that on there on only the X. Hear me again, folks. Only on the X. And you get people to buy it. You know what I mean?
Or you can just lie like Sony. Best place to play, Call of Duty, World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, I couldn't believe that. I saw this commercial, and it's like the best
apparently
place
a
to
slogan.
play.
Yeah, I saw your video. You could do whatever you want, apparently, right?
I guess so, but I'm thinking, how in the hell is the best place to play those games PS4 when you know damn well they're better on Xbox One X? How do you get away with that? Like, nobody's gonna say anything except me.
What's Xbox gonna do to combat it? Be like, no, we have the bestest.
Yeah,
you know
and then they've got
Come
this
on.
other fucking commercial. There's actually, I got to give him props for the commercial with the opera singer. I don't know if you saw that one, but
maybe I can't remember.
Like this opera singer singing, and he's like dynamic 4K, and he's like, you know what I mean? They make it sound like such a like a good thing.
Well, it's just so funny because the media, and all the fans out there that are Sony fans, they're using the word dynamic incorrect. They're using dynamic to make it sound like it's better than native. Which if you actually walked up and asked 100 people out of 100 people, I think maybe 90 out of 100 people would say that dynamic is better than native. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, think about the words, the way, like if I said to you, Crap, last night's game was a dynamic game. Last night's game was native, baby. Native.
Yeah, native,
Native. I'd be like, what'd you guys do? Take your shirts off and write the team's name on your chest? What's so native about it? What happened? And, but dynamic, they're using dynamic. And this is really just so comical because when Xbox One, the day one edition, was only 100 Ps behind, 180 Ps behind, it was the end of the world. But now Sony takes the dynamic, which is the lesser of the two, and is promoting it. And the other thing I say is all the time, Microsoft gets all these deals for these third-party games, and then I go on IGN to watch them, let's play this game, and they're playing it on PlayStation. Why are you playing it on PlayStation if Microsoft has the marketing rights?
You know what was weird was and
it looks better on X.
Yeah, I saw people buying. I'm surprised by the amount of people that bought Monster Hunter on Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to see some people mistakenly who own both bought it on the PS4, and they're like,
I was thinking the
friends got it
same
on the X.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's a few people that I know that they bought Monster Hunter World, and they bought it, and they're predominantly on Xbox.
Yeah.
They bought it on PlayStation. I'm like, why? Like,
who the hell knows? It's
why?
crazy.
Because when I said to people before, why aren't you buying Far Cry 4? We know people who are multi-console owners, and I said, why aren't you buying Far Cry 4 on Xbox? You're always on Xbox. They're like, well, it's a third-party game, and it looks better on PlayStation because it's 1080p. But isn't that the case now, where the Xbox version looks better?
Oh yeah, a million times better.
But people are buying it for PlayStation. I'm like, but where's your rationale now?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
Hey, shout out to Space Cat, who got a chicken dinner during M&C Mornings. He got a 15 kill chicken dinner. Jeez.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, you should see Space Cat. You know when you actually zoom in down sights, crap, but then you actually, I can't remember if you press LT again, it'll actually curve it so that way you're looking at it like a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
When you do that, like Space Cat walks around like that. He is literally the Liam Neeson of PUBG. He literally walks around like he's like a digital badass with that game. So shout out to Space Cat. Nice work, Space Cat.
Yeah, man. Good job, Space Cat.
Holy shit. We have a call. Come on down.
M&C Mornings, what's up?
Hey now.
How's it going?
Hey guys, it's Hyena Den again. I am calling from Southern California, and so I wanted to talk about, since I saw that it was in the topics for this week's show, and that is the 1X patch for Overwatch. And when the article popped up for Digital Foundry, because I have them followed on YouTube and on Twitter, of course, so all the notifications start going, and every time I see a notification from them, there's like this slight fear that starts, because I'm like, well, you know how much power they have in the industry, and you're like, well, what are they going to say? But I start watching the video, and everything starts off good and whatnot. And it gets better, and obviously the 1X patch turns out to be the best. Shocker. But my problem with the video wasn't actually the video itself, but the comment section, which is something weird to like complain about. But it's funny how there's people in the comment section cherry picking what they don't like about the X, and sometimes it happens with the Pro, but in this case it turned out to be the X. And when you watch the video, you see people in the comment section complaining about the 1X patch not being in native 4K, and it's like, do you understand why developers are pushing for a dynamic resolution scaler for the game? It's to keep solid frame rates and whatnot, and it's doing its job. But even with that dynamic resolution scaler in place, you do get the upper parameters of a full 4K, so you're getting best of both worlds. And if it wasn't a dynamic resolution scaler in place, and it was
shut that dog up
native 4K, then you'd have people complaining about the frame rates, because then the GPU would be tax harder. So it's it's either they complain about one thing and then they complain about something else, and it's ridiculous. And and people are complaining about the two dropped frames in the video, and it's like, are you kidding me? You can't even notice the dropped frame rates in the and you would never be able to tell. And I just find it ridiculous how people are cherry picking some of the smallest things about a lot of the 1X patches. If it's not native 4K, then they complain about it not being native 4K. If it is native 4K, then they complain about frame rates, and it's just like, it's ridiculous, But that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm actually not a sports fan. I do like racing games, but that's
yay sports.
That's all I can really comment about that. You guys have a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying a little bit earlier. So bravo to the caller for actually you're seeing the light. You're seeing the light. This is what we've been talking about for years.
Here's the thing. They don't really what can they say? Because if you look at it, the game runs 4K, mostly 4K 60 on the Xbox One X. It's tapped out at 1080 60 on the PS4 Pro. So no matter what they try and say, it's better on the X. In fact, so much better that people in the comments were like, I'm gonna boycott the game. They could have done
Right.
better on the Pro. Like, that's how much better it was on the X. And that's how much better the X is in the Pro. I'm not sure why this is some kind of revelation to people that it's better. The stats mean it's better. People really bought into that Mark Cerny bullshit. I still see that in comment sections, right?
Yeah.
They're like, well, that Pro is really 8.4 T-flops, so it beats the Xbox One X. And you just facepalm because you realize that no matter how many facts people are presented with, it's never going to win.
No,
because people are insane.
Yeah, think about where the game Lemmings came from, folks, okay? That's a lot of people just read a headline and they'll just walk into oncoming traffic with that headline in their head. You know what I mean? They don't pay any attention to what's going on. Because if you actually do listen to what Mark Cerny said, and if the PS4 was 8.4, then the Xbox is 12 under the same mathematics. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, but it's ridiculous even to, I mean, I don't want to spend more than a minute talking about that because that's ridiculous. So it is what it is, and this is when you're reading comment sections, also like losing brain cells. You're better off drinking a 12-pack of beer. It's just, to me personally, I think that you've got there's just that bias, and the problem is, guys, is it stems from like what I was saying a few minutes ago. Okay, why is it when Microsoft has a deal in place with a third-party team and they have the better box, so you can't say, well, no, Mooch, they want to show the better-looking game on the stream, okay? So get off your high horse, and this is what it is. Okay, so Microsoft has the better-looking multi-plat now. They have the deal, and then I tune into IGN or GameSpot, or I turn into Game Informer, and I'm watching them do a Let's Play, and they're all playing on the PlayStation 4. And I'm like, what did I miss? And I understand it's all in how the contract's written. But there were times before, like I said, when Xbox had the marketing rights in the past, and they're still doing plays. So is Xbox not writing their contracts correctly? Is there an issue there?
I don't think there's a ton of money being exchanged with their contracts. I just think that what they're doing is their logo on the commercials at the end, and that's about it.
It must be crap. I don't even have a rebuttal. I have to agree
Well,
with you because I don't know.
If you're a reviewer, how it works, you request which platform you want it on. So if you're an Xbox dude, you'll request Xbox. If you're a PlayStation dude, or you mostly do stuff in PlayStation, then you're going to request PlayStation. Like I remember when everybody was like, man, this is big. They got all these YouTubers to, to get Xbox Ones. It's going to be great for them. And now you see nobody's using. Yeah.
No, they're all using PlayStation 4. It's amazing how there's some unwritten rule. Something happened somewhere. I don't know what it was, because a lot of these people that are big YouTubers were using 360s before. So the problem is, I don't know what the hell happened.
What happened was they went with, Sony started getting the big games with the content early.
Right.
And Microsoft doesn't. They'll get timed exclusives, but not timed content. So PlayStation was having, like, Destiny was huge at first, remember?
Yes.
And so Call of Duty is consistently huge. So
absolutely,
having those maps and stuff, and then
Microsoft letting go of Call of Duty crap could be it's the most not talked about blunder of this generation.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's like all the games. Think about the big games early in the generation. Watch Dogs. Sony had exclusive content on that. Assassin's Creed, exclusive content.
Right.
Like Sony had exclusive content on all this stuff. And so when you're a YouTuber and it really counts on, having that content to do your videos on, you go with PlayStation. Plus the games looked better and ran better. So and now, like, we didn't have a new generation. We basically just had a updated mid-gen generation, and that sometimes isn't enough for people to throw out their whole thing, kit and caboodle.
Crap, we got to talk about this, because I think this brings up this is a big issue for Microsoft moving forward, because even though the X is not a next generation console, okay, we're all still in the Xbox One console. Here's my issue. If the X didn't make them change over and it's a more powerful console and the games look better, next generation, I've said this a number of times, what is Microsoft going to do to bring those PlayStation people over to Xbox again, like they did in the 360?
You've got to launch it at the same time.
Well, that's a given, but they need to do a hell of a lot more than that, because this is the problem, crap. They just launched a more superior console than their competitor, and you still have YouTubers.
They were the number one premium console. in December or for the holidays.
Great, but they're like 36 months behind. My whole thing is, you know, yeah. But I mean, I'm going to be extreme here, crap. So please don't take this with a grain of salt. Actually, I'm saying like they're never going to do this. But let's say they said Xbox 2 with free Xbox Live. That'll never happen. But I'm saying like, do you see where I'm going? Like, how do they get them back? Because Xbox 2 and PS5, in my opinion, are going to be the same strength, same exact console. Bolt for bolt inside that thing, hardware-wise, okay? So when it comes down to it, and you can't sit here and say the games, because Xbox went on an 8-month drought, PlayStation's currently in a 6-month drought. You know what I mean? So the droughts occur on both sides. So what is it that's going to bring people over to Xbox? What can they give? What service? What feature? Are you going to throw Game Pass in for a year? Are you going to start locking down exclusive rights to third-party games for a month or two? What are you doing, Xbox, that's going to bring in the faithful back to your console? Because power is not enough now, and power is not going to be enough in the next generation because they're going to be equivalent. Like, they're not going to be that far off. The precedence next generation is going to be on CPU crap, right? Because I think we're both agreed that 4K is the threshold for next gen. It'll be a locked 4K, and then 60, 60 will be there. And you've come back and said to me a few times, well, Mooch, maybe the developer doesn't want 60. All right, if they don't want 60, they don't want 60.
I think we'll see it there for a lot of stuff.
Right.
But I mean, seriously, if we go, I'm telling you this right now, if they go for 60 as a main standard for everything, we aren't going to get big improvement, a big jump over the next generation. I'm just telling you right now.
That's all it'll be, though. It'll be 4K, which we have, and then a 60.
60. Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I don't think that's that impressive. What's up at M&C Mornings? How's it going? How's it hanging?
How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Mooch Crap? And again, thank you to Jay. I just wanted to say that, I'm here listening, and you guys go through topics like mad crazy, and it's hard to keep up. But you just said something, Mooch, that made me say, I got to call in and speak on it. You're asking how can Microsoft get back a majority of the gamers that they had that went over to PlayStation. They're not going to do the free online, but maybe if they reduced it to $30 for the year, would that be enough to bring back a bunch of the players that they had beforehand? And as far as the question, you pinpointed on something back on Crossfire here this Friday past, where you were saying that Kaz stepped down and what was behind it. And I think tell me if I'm wrong, do you think it's due to what he did as a whole this generation and dropping the ball with something as far as the Game Pass and them not having anything to combat it with? And also, I guess that's about it. You guys have a good day.
Hey,
bye.
Good call, man. And I understand the show moves at a mile a minute, so I understand. I do appreciate the call.
It has nothing to do with Game Pass. Game Pass is irrelevant to Sony and Nintendo. They're not going to do it.
They can't do it.
They can't. What would be the point? They don't have those types of games. Microsoft, just look at the common thread to the games that Microsoft puts in Game Pass. They're multiplayer focused.
Yes.
Gears of War, Halo, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves. These are the type of games
that play on and on and on and on, right? They're online centric, right? Yes. Crap's right there. So
and you want to play because why? Because they want you to do Game Pass and Xbox Live.
Right. Free Game Pass won't happen. And the other point, though, I do want to just kibosh right away. Let me tell you something to the caller. Great thought in saying half price. But as Crap has mentioned, Jay's mentioned to me offline a few times, right now, Xbox Live is $60, right? That's face value.
Yeah.
But we all know that it goes on sale 2, 3, 4 times a year for $35 or $39. So
that's assuming you can't mooch it.
That's assuming you don't mooch it or win it.
Yeah.
That is correct, Crap. That is correct. That's usually we have to put that in italics. But, my point is that he's saying half price. That's not going to do any good because then face value is $30. Are the deals going to go down to $15? And Microsoft's not going to do that. That's a cash cow. And now that Sony sees this money coming in, they're definitely not going to offer free online anymore. They're using that money. They need that money. See,
they're
Microsoft
making a ton of money
that
from that.
Money. Microsoft loves it. Sony needs it.
Yeah, they're making billions of dollars. These companies are from their
Right.
online services. So I mean, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what though? But crap, he made a good point. He's trying to stretch his arms out and say, what would put Microsoft leaps and bounds over the competitor to
It's
get
hard
people to
saying
come?
because sometimes people are just stubborn with their thing. You know what I mean?
right.
Aside from Microsoft, which I doubt they'll do this, launch early next generation. Say this is next generation. You know what I
don't
mean?
know if that's the answer though, crap, because then Sony will come out with better power the next year or something
I'm just saying,
wacky.
well, they did that with the PS3, but by then, it didn't matter. Microsoft led the entire generation. You know, what I mean,
That
you can
is
make an
true.
argument. You can make an argument that Sony caught
That's
up.
true.
When they threw everything in the kitchen sink out of the
Yeah.
PS3, but at the end of the day, they were the ones that had 160 million PS2s and 195% of the market, and then Sony got chopped down like a tree, like Rocky chopping down the Russian. You know what I mean?
Let's play devil's advocate here just before we take that call. Okay, there's only so much tech that's coming out in the next 4 or 5 years, right? Everybody can see what's coming down the path. If Microsoft did beat Sony by a full fiscal year, okay, and beat them to the punch with next generation, crap might have a point. Because then at this point, they can lock down 4K 60. They could do that by 2019 if Sony's coming out 2020. They could do that. And they would get the jump because Sony's next console would not be able to do much more than 4K 60. It's not going to do 8K. There's no 8K TVs out there. So there are, but nobody has them in their homes. And those are like, $10,000 right now. Point being is, that's an interesting point, crap. I would actually run with that one and say that's the only way to do it is beat them to the punch prior, but we'll take the call. I just thought that was a good idea.
M&C Mornings, what's
hey
up?
Now, come on down.
Hey, Mooch and Crap Jay, good morning. This is Hobo Scratch calling in. Hey, you know what? I just kind of wanted to piggyback off what Mooch was just saying, and that last caller was just saying about, what the Xbox going to have to do next generation to kind of get over this slump that they're in now. And I think ultimately it's just going to come down to the games because as Mooch just said, power didn't win them over with the Xbox One X. And unfortunately, Microsoft has kind of painted themselves in the corner right now with the approaches that they've been taking. Because Sony is pretty much just strictly doing what's the word? Was just a straight up just console and games, and that's it. They're not worrying about a whole bunch of other stuff as what Microsoft is doing to play anywhere, not a Game Pass thing, and this and that and that and this whatever. So the system can be, the next generation comes. Like I said, Sony and Microsoft are probably going to have the power wise are going to be about the same, but it's going to come down to the games. They're going to have to get up off this, kumbaya attitude and want to have all these kiddie type games like Sea of Thieves and all that kind of stuff, and they need to come down with some serious kick-ass games that's going to blow people's minds away, and that's going to be it. If that doesn't happen, then it's going to be the same situation all over again. If they still keep coming out with the same type of material type of games that they're coming out now, meanwhile Sony is coming out with the games that gamers seem to be asking for, i.e. Last of Us and Days Gone and Horizon and those type of games, then it's going to be the same situation all over again. Anyway, just wanted to throw my 2 cents in. You guys have a good day. Talk to you later. Peace.
Yeah, I'm glad he said what he said, crap. And to be honest with you, that's something that we should kind of discuss is the fact that are they going to come out with something that's they got to stop with the kumbaya stuff. And what's funny? We've been saying this for a long time. Then when they'll stop with it, everybody's like, yeah, Phil did it. He's doing it. It's like we've been saying this to them for a long time. I'm noticing a lot less of the kumbaya talk going on. I'm noticing a lot more of the Mikey Bars being like, this is the best place to play. This is awesome. This is great. And you're not hearing Aaron Greenberg coming out with all of his winter chicken dinner gear and being like, only place to play and taking pictures with people playing PUBG. So do you think there is a little bit of a change in culture coming, crap? Do you think
I doubt it.
Listening?
But like to his point, right? Like, I think he was trying to insinuate that they need like Days Gone type games and stuff. That's not going to happen. With the implementation of Game Pass, like I know everybody was high on it and fine. Like it's not a bad thing, but that pretty much means you're not going to see any big AAA single player type of games because realistically they don't want people to buy a month and beat that game for a game that would normally be $60, beat it and then leave the Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like I don't really see them. You'll see stuff like Ori 2 and some stuff like that on there, but I just don't really think that you're going to see big single player games without multiplayer elements.
Yeah, I mean, I like your thought there, Crap, with the whole multiplayer elements thing. I think you're onto something there, but I do think you're going to see something. Like they have to have something in there because right now Game Pass is an episode of Seinfeld, right? It's a service about nothing. And
yeah, well, I mean
I need to see third party. Listen, we can all sit here and like the caller was saying, like it's not just the exclusives that run. We thought exclusives were everything. They're not. They're not. It's more like exclusive content. Okay, let's add a word to it, folks. It's not just first-party exclusives. It's exclusive content. So if you have a third-party deal where you, like Sony, kept different strikes of Destiny off of the Xbox, that made people go buy a Sony system because they would only have those strikes. I'm getting more for my $60 on Sony. Okay, that's what it is. It's not just first-party games. It's third-party games. But I do agree with Crap that in order for it to make sense on Game Pass, it's not going to be a game that's third party that doesn't have a multiplayer aspect to it.
Yeah,
because like Crap said, it'll be a 30 days and done. Right.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to put their single player only game on there. You know,
Right.
The games that are doing extremely well mostly are the multiplayer type games, you know, the PUBGs and things like that. And just in general, like you'll see Fable on there, right? But that's going to have some kind of it has to. They'll have some kind of multiplayer co-op type deal, right? Because that's what they're going to want. Maybe they're going to like do quests that they update. You know what I mean? Like I could see that being a full single player game, but you can also play it co-op with your friend where you need to pay Xbox Live Gold and there's some loot chests and maybe there's a multiplayer where they're going to give you sort of Fable Legends-ish different tasks that you can do. You know what I mean? Like they could even have a different studio doing that, you know, that part of it. So like everything that they're going to do is going to be games more as a service, which people look at that as a bad thing or this horrible thing, and it's really not. You know, it's just their particular style. They keep people engaged and playing. You know, like back in the day, that's why we have DLC. It was so that people didn't pop the disc out and go sell it to GameStop. Right? They want to keep that disc in your console for as long as possible. Microsoft wants to keep you playing and invested in these games as long as possible. The Minecrafts, the PUBGs, the Halos, the Gears, the Forts. They want you playing these games as long as possible.
That's right. That's right.
I wouldn't expect a big influx of single player games. Here's the thing. Microsoft had the games to start the generation and still got smacked, right? No matter what they've done. They already are beating Sony at everything. Backwards compatibility with Xbox 360. They're doing crossplay with Nintendo and PC. They do Game Pass. They do better games with gold with the backwards compatibility, right? Like everybody's loving Split Second, apparently. You know, They do game preview. Sony doesn't do that. EA Access. Sony doesn't do it. They're doing so much more than Sony, and they're still getting beat. They're just slaughtered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to say what they can do. Probably nothing aside from giving away the console.
Well, there you go. That you just took the words out of it. That was Punkdish Gaming made a great point. He says basically the reason that they're winning is they're always cheaper. It comes down to price. So I've said this a number of times. It's not just if the box has more than Sony's box next generation. If they don't do anything different, if everything is exactly the same column for column, then Microsoft has to take an absolute hit. Something that they figured out that they can accept the hit on price for the console that Sony can't match because they'll know when these consoles are coming out how much their competitor paid for that. They'll know exactly to the penny how much the PS5 cost them. And if they can get their product $20 lower than Sony's cost, they can't compete. And that's something. Sony needs that money. So if they do that, and then you go to the next $50 mark below. So if Sony comes out and they're $400, you do $350. If they're $450, you're $400. If they're $500, you're $450. You have to beat them in price because this entire generation, Sony has been cheaper. And we really don't talk about that crap. But the first 2 years when Kinect was in the box, okay, or let's say 1 year because it was the middle of 2014 when they yanked it. But for the first year, for the most part, it was $500 to $400. Then when it was $400 to $400, the PS4 kind of went to $350 a lot of the times during the year. It beat them on price all the time. That's where the true advantage came from. We sit here and we argue about games and this and that. And like you just said, nothing seems to be mattering. And Microsoft's beating them in a lot of the categories for service and as far as features. But it comes down to price. And when Sony beat Microsoft in November, NPD, it was because they lowered the price by $10, $15 lower than Xbox's big sale. And that, my friend, is not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. When you're as a conglomerate as Microsoft, you're telling me Microsoft couldn't take an extra $10 off the damn tag to have Sony not be able to compete? Come on, that's not acceptable. Sony's a much smaller company, and they outpriced Microsoft on a console. That's their only meal ticket. You know, that's just, to me, I don't understand. I can't understand how Sony, a company that's it's literally a potato chip crumb on the world that Microsoft lives in, can out and undersell for the month of November. You know that that's an important month to win because it makes headlines for months to come. Let's take the call.
M&C Mornings, what's up?
Hey, Mooch, hey, crap. This is Darth Vicious calling from Newfoundlandia here. Just didn't mean to change the tone too much, but I did want to get your input on what would be some interesting achievements you would add to PUBG if you were to add one, or add some.
Good question.
Because it doesn't look like they have them yet, but I just want to hear what you guys have to think on that. Thanks a lot. Bye.
What do you think, Crap? You got a couple of good ideas on that, don't you? As far as
well, they need some new maps for sure.
Yeah, they do.
They need. I would say that they need to. There need to be some gameplay fixes a little bit. Like looking down the sights in that game is kind of bad, or you sometimes click out of it or whatever. I don't know. Like, you know, they're doing quite a good amount of updates though. You know, I'm happy with the updates that they're doing. I kind of like what they're doing. The only problem
game
is
modes, Crap. How about another game mode?
I mean, I think PUBG is PUBG.
So you're saying that's all they can do?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, I wouldn't.
I mean, Fortnite. I'm not comparing the games themselves, but Fortnite has this mode. I believe I've never played it, but I think I saw Clowns and Assassin playing it on Four Guys, where it was they started off and it's 100 people still, right, Crap? But now it's 50 versus 50. So it's almost like PUBG mode blended with a little bit of team deathmatch. And it just gives you a little bit of a. There's so many people playing the game. I think it just expands the horizon. Because if we sit here and go, no, it's going to be PUBG and PUBG only, then we sound like Costanza at the NBC meeting. Well, what happened to you today? Nothing.
Well, I mean, it's hard
Something
to really.
has to happen.
It's really hard to argue with the numbers and the engagement that people have on this game.
Right, but
I don't think you want to take. I know. I don't think you want to take people away from what makes PUBG and start going, you know, because they haven't even perfected what they got. You know, just like worry about what you got and then worry about the other stuff because I mean, if I had PUBG and I was in charge of that, I would definitely not be adding any more game modes to that. I'd add new elements and things and more maps, maybe new weapons.
Right.
I'd make the loot system, the box system better because all you get is a hat, a red shirt, and some boots. You know.
Absolutely. So yeah, and okay, so your recommendation is enhanced customizations.
Yeah.
Which is so true because if you've played Monster, and I know you have, Crab, Monster Hunter World has an insane customization, doesn't it? Isn't that really cool? Like, make your character look and feel like you. Yeah, I think PUBG definitely needs that. I think it needs new maps. You know what? I'm going to throw another thing out there, Crap. Tell me, how about some more weapons?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Oh, I apologize. I didn't hear you say weapons. I was fixed on your other good point. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I think those are the things. And myself personally, I wouldn't mind a mode or two. Okay, I said the zombie mode, and I know they have one on PC, but not what they have. I mean, legit, honest to God, same. So let me stick with Crap here. Leave PUBG the way it is, but instead of having all those open fields when you're cutting across and you're running to get to the circle, all those empty fields have a couple of zombies in there, and you might go, Mooch, so what? You can just run around them. Yes, but when the circle really dwindles down and closes, you can't just hide in a branch or underneath a haystack. You have to come out because the zombie will come over. So now you're starting to fight the zombie off and fighting people in the circle. I think that zombie mode would be intense. And it doesn't change the game, really. It just puts more AI things in there. But it's the same thing. It's 100 people, squad, solo, or duo. But at the end, when the circle crunches down, it's not just you in this world. It's you and the infected. I think that's a pretty good idea. I like that. I think it changes things. And it doesn't change it so drastically, like Crap's saying, that it doesn't feel like PUBG anymore. It's still PUBG, but they just sprinkled in a little something, a little sprinkle. Okay, nothing wrong with a sprinkle. Like people like a dash, throw a little dash in there, or something different.
Could be, yeah. We do got a couple more. Oh, okay, yeah, we do got a couple more voicemails. Jay, who do we got?
We have our chicken dinner winner, Space Cat.
Space Cat. Okay.
Cat.
Hey, what's up, Moochie Crap? I was just wondering, When it comes to next generation consoles, like the consoles after the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, do you think that power is gonna stay important? Or do you think whichever console has the most exclusives when it comes out will, sell the best? Okay.
We talked about this, but since Space Cat brings it back up, I don't know, Crap. I don't think we can. I think power, like you said, I think 4K 60 is what they're going to strive for.
Yeah.
Maybe Xbox.
They're never gonna. Neither one of them are ever gonna force developers to do 60 or not or death. You know what I mean? It's like they're gonna be able to do what they want.
Well, don't forget though, Crap. I want to say something though, right, Crap? I don't know if that's necessarily true. Let me just say why. When we enter a next generation, they're not Sony and Microsoft don't have to mandate it, but that's the whole point of if we don't go to that next generation, then we're just staying where we are. So the games would just be 4K 60 on those games. And then if you pop that disc, because remember, Microsoft wants forward and backward compatibility. So if a game comes out for next gen, I think it'll still play on your Xbox One X, but it may play at 30 on the X. And that's at this point, there's a next gen, so that's a you problem. When you do make a next generation, you can't say, hey, we're at next generation, but make sure you do the same thing the X can do. What? That's not next generation. That's a continuation of this generation. So that, my friend, is a you problem.
Absolutely.
It definitely is, Mooch. And that's the thing people got to realize. It's enough of the woe is me. The woe is me. They just had an offer, folks, at GameStop that ended yesterday. They have another one right now for the controller deal online. I went and took advantage of the $50 car deal and the amazing trade-in. I got basically $200 for a 2-year-old machine, a year and a half. Okay, I got that. And then I got $50 towards a game. So I got $250 towards an X.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want? I don't understand what people, and if you don't want it, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to buy it, but you can't complain that you have an inferior system. They're basically giving this thing away. And now the X will be your next console. That's why I tell people all the time, people are like, I'm not getting the X till 2 years from now. Okay. So you're going to get the X when the console's $350, right? And then the next one comes out 6 months later. And then you're already behind the times again. There is something to getting a console, whether it's PS4 Pro or the X, that you get to enjoy the service. Yes, you paid a little bit more, but you're getting more out of it. And then you're going to reap the benefits for the biggest trade-ins when the next gen comes out. So you get to enjoy this console for all that it is. Then you get the money for it at the beginning of next, and you pay less for the next gen. Guys, that's the recipe for gaming. And I understand it doesn't work for everybody's financial mold, but you do have to realize that's how you have to kind of look at it moving forward. I know some people like, Joe, I just bought an S like a month ago. That's a you problem. What do you want me to say? That thing came out like, you know what I mean? It's like, I just bought a couple of VHSs. I just got a VHS. What? Like, that's a you problem. I know you can get VHS. You can get all the 1980s greatest hits on VHS. Probably you can get everything made in 1980 for about $8. The entire decade. Like, nobody cares that you got a deal on that. So, I mean, go out there, get this console. This is a great, Best Buy's doing a trade-in weekend. They're doing a $50. Dell's giving a $100 gift certificate, right? I don't think you get a trade-in with Dell for your old console. That's why I prefer dealing with Best Buy or GameStop. But yeah, these opportunities are out there for you folks. So next generation is coming in. Let's just say it's 2020. It's coming in 2020. So go get the X and enjoy it for 2-3 years. Like, I don't understand. I can't fathom people like, I'm a gamer, but I still have a day one Xbox. What? How? What? I mean, you can get these things for like pretty cheap with these sales that are going on. You just got to keep your ear to the ground.
Yeah. I agree. I think they're going to have they're going to be important. It's always going to be important. The main thing is you can't be behind the people. Who knows? There's always going to be some kind of reason why people say buy PlayStation. So,
well, yeah, whichever it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, but that's why I'm saying to people, like, you can't sit here. Otherwise, PS5 is going to carry all their PS4 members over if Microsoft doesn't do something different. It either has to be more powerful, which I don't think they're going to do, because, like I said, the technology is just going to be equivalent at that point, or they undercut them in price. It's not going to be games, guys. You're not going to sit there and go games. It's not. It's power and price. Okay? It was about the P's. But we had the wrong P's.
That would be a good way to jump ahead if they're the same power. Just
power and price.
Have a better price.
Yes. Come in $50 to $100 less than your competitor and eat it up. Eat it up, Microsoft. Lock it up. That's how you lock it down.
Exactly.
All right.
Who's our last one, Jay?
Yes, Jay.
Our last voicemail is from Vicious Lord 66.
All right, Vicious.
Let's do this.
Hey, Mooch, Crap, Jay. This is Vicious Lord 66, Patreon supporter. I just want to say, you know, I was really surprised about Monster Hunter World. I didn't think it'd be as good as it is. I've never played one, so it's pretty cool. I'm also happy to see Capcom coming out and saying they sold 5 million copies in the first 3 days. I think that's pretty impressive. I don't know if y'all seen that yet. But, yeah. I just wanted to touch on that. And then my question would be, E3 this year, do you think we'll have a chance of Microsoft coming out and saying anything about VR? Maybe support for third-party headsets? I think that would be pretty cool. I'm actually waiting for that. It's the whole reason why I haven't picked up a PlayStation VR, because I'd rather have one from Microsoft. But, you know, I just want to hear what you guys think. All right, y'all have a good one.
What do you think, Crap? I mean,
VR is something I want to see, but I don't know if E3 is a good place to do that, to be honest with you.
Right. I don't know if E3 is, although they could mention that the third-party support will be starting in the fall, yada, 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 more to come from that.
I would prefer that they do the that somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. For some reason, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm you know, I watched shout out to Danny Boy. I watched Danny Boy do a lot of his VR. Danny Boy, those pipes. Oh, listen, you know,
it's me, Danny Boy.
It's me, Danny Boy, Yoshida. But you know, I don't know. He does a lot of VR content, and I watch it because I want to see.
VR is the future, people. It's the future. Don't even go there. It's the future. I'm telling you, it's great. It's great. Damn it.
Chicka. Sorry, it's a flashback. But here I am. I'm staring right now. I'm taking the time to stare at my PSVR unit, and I like Doom. I played it for about an hour and a half, and I have absolutely zero urge to jump back into it. And then I have people writing me like, "Have you tried the Inpatient? Have you tried the Inpatient?" Which, if you guys don't know, that's the same people that made Rush of Blood.
No, that's the people
Dawn.
Until Dawn. Yeah,
Until Dawn. Excuse me. Yeah. But they did Rush of Blood as well, right? That's
it is. But that's like a Rails type thing,
right? But I'm just saying. I'm laying the groundwork here. I mean, the point being, Crap is. I mean, did you get the Inpatient yet?
No, I haven't got it yet.
And I mean, I know. Just knowing you, you may get it, but that's not a game that's up your alley.
Probably not. Like it's a horror game. I don't know. I mean, like I did like Until Dawn, but Danny Boy said that the Inpatient wasn't that good.
He did say that, but I've talked to two others that said that they enjoy the story. You know, Boom. I think Boom liked it. I think Boom said he played it.
Boom's favorite game of last year was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. He does have a demerit for that.
Yeah, I mean, like kidding.
I can't. Right. It's demerit. I don't know how. I tried. I even went back.
The Inpatient is a 60 on Metacritic, so that's not.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not that that's the be all end all.
No,
course,
it's not.
I mean,
it's not. But the problem is that I found VR is good for jump scares. It does it really, really well. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel like coming home. I usually don't get to play games. Any of you that game with me know that I play at like 10 o'clock at night. There's nothing like getting together at 10 o'clock at night with you yourself in a headset, completely closing yourself off to darkness and then scaring the shit out of yourself. That sounds like a lot of fun, right, folks? Don't you want to do that every night when you come home? No, you don't. You don't. And stop nodding your head up and down. You're lying to yourself. That's the problem. So VR doesn't really have this home for me. It doesn't have a place in my gaming life right now. I try it out, but like it's just like I said, it's like that $2 game slot machine in the arcade. You know, it's something you try and then you put it down. You let it collect dust. When something else comes out, you try it again and then you put it down. That's the thing. So, you know, it's just VR chat on Mooch. Yeah. I think VR needs to become an option for Xbox, but I don't think they're going to put any emphasis on it at all. I think it'll just be there.
I think that they should totally do some VR. They're obviously working on stuff. They have that Halo thing, and there's probably other things as well. So I would love to see that. And that's a day one for me.
Well, there you go. I'll be living through Crap's eyes.
I mean, you'll be getting it.
Well, I'll be mooching.
You'll be getting it. Yeah, you'll be getting it. And then there could already be a plethora of, man, if they put Star Trek on there and a bunch of other games.
Oh, you know, listen, the multiplayer games I really dig, Crap. I think that's awesome. Like Star Trek, believe it or not, whether you're a Star Trekky fan or it's not the point. That game is actually something that I really love playing VR with you guys, because when we play, Like you're in the ship. It's not a jump scare. It's actually tactical. You have to work as a team or you die. I like that shit. I really do. Actually, as a matter of fact, I would be down for that. At some point in time, getting back into that again. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I enjoyed the hell out of it, man. Like VR for me, I didn't expect it to be good because when I first tried it, I got sick.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that. I actually, I didn't get sick on any of them, but the one that made me feel really nauseous was Farpoint. For some reason, that jumping, because Doom does it a little bit better than Farpoint, where you can see where you're going and then you warp. The warping is better than the flashing, the flash moving that you do, or whatever the skipping is that you do in Farpoint. That makes me really, really, that made me a little bit more nauseous than the Doom. And Doom was also a smaller environment. You're in corridors or big space station, but you're in a smaller area. Farpoint's massive.
Yeah.
So the world expands out. Your sense of where you are and your being is a little off kilter. But that's
I like Farpoint a lot. Yeah, just for that reason that you feel like when you look over the edge of something, you get that kind of whoa shit kind of feeling. You know,
you do. No, that's very true.
I remember I walked too close to the edge one time and fell off. I had to close my eyes until it reset.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to do that little
he's
falling.
Not kidding, folks. I mean, anyone that thinks they're tough in VR. Whoa. Yeah, but that is there. And I mean, wait till VR becomes really like photoreal, right? Crap. Because right now, the PSVR is, I'll use the word cartoony. I don't mean cartoony like Sea of Thieves cartoony, but it's got a caricature like outline where you can tell it's not necessarily real. It looks like a 70s space show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're on a 70s space set. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still, you feel immersed. You do feel immersed. So it does a good job in that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I like it. I'd be excited to see what Microsoft does this year. Just like maybe announce it at some other event or whatever. Just don't take up E3 time, because even though I'm a huge VR fan, it's boring to watch on stage. Right. It's super boring to watch on stage. It is like people aren't going to get it, and the majority of people aren't into it. The like 2 or 3% that actually are into it, hey, they'll be like cool stuff. But for everybody else, which is the audience, 97%, they don't care. So save it for something else. Do your own VR show or whatever. I think that would be the best thing. Or because E3 is such a big thing, you know how they always do interviews and shit afterwards anyway?
Right.
That would be perfect.
Yes.
Just do it like that.
Well, they do a whole E3 week, right, where Larry Herb has got the floor, and they do this. You could say two.
Larry Herb.
Yeah, Larry Herb.
Larry Herb.
As Major Nelson. Yeah, but I don't know. For some reason, I just think that's something that, I don't know. It's to me personally, VR is not what we thought it would be, and it's not there yet. And Phil said it himself, it's just not there yet. I think we're a good couple years out, and I don't know if people are ready to shut off the real world and dive into that helmet for an hour, and regardless of performance.
Yeah.
That's the question, crap.
AJ, we got a wheel, right?
We do have a
just
wheel,
asking
and I just made some. I made the adjustments where I added all of the collars, the live collars.
Okay.
Great. Although I may have to do a quick little fix when I jump over to the wheel. But in the meantime, because we didn't do a pony today, I have another idea that I spoke to Mooch about, where I like to get the live chat involved in winning a prize.
Okay.
So, if anyone watches the show, quite often, if they watch it and don't listen to it, you'll notice that we have a cool set in the background, and it's like a radio/TV studio. I've added something to the set this week that wasn't on last week. If anyone in the chat, the first person in the chat that jumps in and says what it is, will win the pony prize. How's that for a cool idea?
I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, without the oops.
I couldn't even tell you what it is, so.
Yeah, I think Darth Vicious won.
I think Darth Vicious won it.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. What was his answer?
The Xbox One X.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's on the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side. Very cool. We'll do that. We're going to start doing this. That was a quick example, but Jay's going to be doing this as the show begins starting next week. So look for things that are different week to week, and things can change. It's not just because he put something in there that's the answer. Could be a few different things. So Yeah, nonetheless, folks, awesome to that. And then Jay, when you're ready with the wheel, let's bring that wheel up.
Okay, you guys chat for a second. I may have to do a quick little fix here.
Boop, 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 boop. I can't wait to hear the music because that's always,
that's one of the highlights.
Launch one guide.
Oh, Jay, we can see your games.
Yeah.
All 300 and some of them.
Nice, Jay. Outstanding.
Hey, hit that like button while we're waiting, folks. Let's get over 200. Do it. Do it now.
There we go.
Oh, we got a hell of a wheel there, folks. Hell of a wheel. Yeah, we had a lot of live calls, huh?
Quite a few. I want to make sure everyone can still hear you guys. I'm assuming they can.
I can hear. Well, I can hear everything, so everything sounds good here. Everyone in the chat, can you hear us?
Perfect.
Sounds
Okay,
good,
so
yeah.
let's do the wheel. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Wheel of Wonder.
Spin
Spin.
that
Tell us
wheel.
who the hell's gonna win. Let's see.
Now, if Darth Vicious wins again, it'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
It's a first-time caller.
Should have put some.
Nice. Always good to get a new winner in there.
Yeah, Gotham guy.
Gotham guy.
Woo!
Nice work.
Hot dog. We have a wiener.
Very cool. Very cool. Gotham guy, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you guys here. I understand you guys are not all football fans, but it is a big day in America.
Hot
It's
dog.
big.
We have a wiener.
But we are going to have a great show next week as well. Get your voicemails in, guys. We're going to be promoting a little bit more of that over the course of the week on Twitter on how to leave voicemails on Google and iPhone devices. We'll figure all that stuff out. Crap, anything you want to close with?
Yeah, check out my videos. I think I probably had one drop at like 1 or something. I try to put them up there, after we finish, but we usually finish a little bit late. We started a little bit late today.
It's Sunday, people.
Yeah.
Easy like Sunday morning, folks.
Go check it out. Maybe if enough of us cheer against the Patriots, they'll lose.
That's true.
I hope so.
True.
I ain't watching that shit either way, but yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Game on.
Later.
Check out things. We'll see you next Sunday at 11 o'clock. Peace.
Peace.
Mooch and crap, they talk about games and no drama smack. Search the web for media ties to catch these ponies in their lies. Look out, here comes Mooch and Crab. Are they bots? Listen up, they have Mountain Dew in their blood. NeoGaf, Xbox Reds, Crap's got 10 dog all over it. Hey there, here comes Mooch and Crab. From a tweet of Phil, Xbox hate will arrive like the Scorpio. Mooch and Crab are just in time. Mooch and crap, zany gaming duel mooch and crap. YouTube in is their core. A thumb in is its reward to them. Xbox is one big hangout. Whenever there's a game out, you'll find mooch and crap.
Wake on up, it's Mooch, it's Crap, and Jay in the morning. Wipe your eye boogies, get your coffee finished yawning. This is Mooch and Crap Show. Wake up, let us begin with gaming news, skits, and call-ins from all the fans. No matter where you at, Cali or Pakistan, New York or New Guinea, this is where it's at. These are Xbox dudes with Xbox views on slander and hate towards Xbox news. This is Mooch and Crap Show for the people, and they coming with it. Now do you understand? Now do you get it? Ponies love to lie and PC fans won't admit it, but Xbox hate is real and they all with it. Call in, let it ring in. We here to rock, we here to win. It's about the games, it's about the pride. Now Xbox community, come on, let's rock. Mooch and Crap. Make sure